DSPN, the Devlin Sports Podcast Network.
Welcome to the weekend, people. Martin Devlin, Lachlan Waugh, the DSPN. What a weekend of sport we got in store for us. Click that subscribe button on the YouTube channel for us. That would help. We're trying to get to 7,000 subscribers before the weekend, then on our way to 10,000 if you're listening on Rover. Well, thank you for joining us wherever you find your favourite podcasts. Round 16 Super Rugby. So much to get our teeth into. We're going to find out who the playoff spots are, who gets who after this round. Almost a full round of NRL post-Origin. There's three teams that have buys. We've got Premiership Netball on this weekend. The A-League Grand Final, battle between the two Melbourne clubs, F1 GP in Barcelona. So, once again, if you do control the remote and you have the time to spend, plenty of great live sport on this weekend. We're playing your favourite game, Lachlan, as we gear up on Friday.
What has more chance of happening?
I present a couple of scenarios to you, fixtures, and you tell me out of the two what is more chance of happening. Yes! Let us start with the Super Rugby. Highlanders home Chiefs tonight, 7:05. Brumbies home Crusaders, 9:35. What is more chance of happening? The Highlanders pip the Chiefs, which would be a hell of an upset, or the Crusaders do go to Canberra and win and clinch the second spot. What is more chance?
I think it's very easy to lean towards the Crusaders based on the fact of their season so far and how many wins they have and where they are on the table.
10 wins, yep.
And as much as the Brumbies are up there as well with them in that top three, I don't know, my gut tells me Highlanders. I think
you haven't been convinced about the Crusaders for a few weeks, have you?
I've been saying it a lot longer than Mix and you and TJ.
Here's the expert.
I'm not about to say that, but the Crusaders, I don't think have, the scores have been big, the stats have looked nice, they've had moments in games, 5-10 minute periods where they've been just absolutely superb and great to watch, but they haven't really strung together an extended period. I'm talking 40, 50, 60 minutes, it feels, where they've dominated a team and I think suffocated them, or they haven't done it as much as the Chiefs, or the Brumbies actually, in my opinion. Anyway, point is, I think that the Crusaders will lose. I think the Brumbies at home will be very tough to beat and they play a really tricky style to overcome. Whereas the Highlanders, the last couple of weeks, have been very unlucky.
Yeah, they blew the game against Wellington, didn't they, the Hurricanes?
Well, that was their own fault.
They should have got something out of the Crusaders game. Yeah.
And in the Crusaders game, I think there were 2 or 3 terrible calls by the referee.
And kickable kicks they missed.
And they missed, I think, 4 penalties and a conversion, if I'm not mistaken. So they've been really unlucky from a variety of angles, and I just feel that their luck will turn a little bit. And I don't like saying luck in sports. I don't think it's such a thing. But in a way, they were unlucky last week. Things went against them that were out of their control in a sense. They were penalised for doing good things in some moments, which is...
So what is more chance of happening?
There's more chance the Highlanders beat the Chiefs.
Okay. Yes! What is more chance of happening? The Highlanders beat the Chiefs then tonight to end their season on a high. They've lost 7 out of their 13 games. Or New South Wales beat the Blues at Eden Park tomorrow, 4:35. Highlanders win, or the Waratahs come to Auckland and win. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. I would give them, I'd say, a 10% chance.
Oh, I'd give them more than that, but not because I've had my light blue and white pom-poms all year, haven't I? And I've been dancing around and I've been doing, give me a W and A and and they have let me down at least the second half of the season. But they got their first, was it their first away win against the Force last weekend? Their first away win of the year, I think.
Their first win since the Chiefs game. They'd lost another 4 in a row.
Yeah, and I think that was their first away win as well. So they can win away from home.
Oh, they can.
They've at least proven that. I think the Blues will win, but the Blues, against Moana Pasifika, they were out-muscled and outplayed and out-enthused. And obviously they've had the bye to fix a few things up, and they've got some good key players back. Mark Talier's back, which is a big in. And AJ Lamb goes back to second 5, which is he's had a good season. I've got to say, people are, and nothing wrong with talking up Timothy Tavatavanawai and Quintu Pai. They've had great years, but no one's really talking up AJ Lamb.
True.
And the game that he gets when he's got the ball in hand, whether with defenders on him or...
Been most impressive in the Blues back runners, out of all their players.
And I like him at second 5. Anyway, I think the Blues will win. So
back to the Highlanders.
I'll give the Highlanders more chance.
What is more chance of happening then? New South Wales beat the Blues, or Moana Pasifika beat the Hurricanes? The game after, 7:05.
Moana beat the Hurricanes. More chance. I don't think they will again, but there's more chance than the Waratahs beating the Blues.
So both Xavier brothers picked to play this. So
starting,
so there's actually...
It'll be the first time that they're both starting surely against the Canes, because Artie played them for the first time.
A lot of feeling in this game, and Artie Xavier, he would love going back to Wellington, plenty to prove. They will also know by the time that fixture kicks off what they have to...
What they need to do,
Well, essentially, they know now what they have to do. They got to get a win. Mind you, even if New South Wales won, they've still got to get a win.
If New South Wales win... But they don't get a bonus point, and there's so let's say New South Wales win 19 points to 0, but they get 4 penalties and
they'll go
just
to
a
30
try.
points.
And Moana could get away with a draw because they could get 2 points, or if they lost but can you get 2 bonus points from losing?
I think you only get 2 bonus. Well, the problem is that New South Wales would be 7-7, and Moana would be 6-1-7, and New South Wales would get it because they've won more games. So that bunks that theory, okay?
There you go.
So Moana have to win this game. What is more chance happening that they win
unless they get a draw with a bonus point? Is that a thing? They've changed the bonus point rules. I don't even know anymore. Okay, no. But they shouldn't be going into it thinking about these things. They should be going into it thinking, no,
got to win the game.
We've got to win. We've got to take care of business our end. So, no, I give them more of a chance than the Waratahs, for sure.
What is more chance happening than the Canes win that game or the Blues beat New South Wales?
Blues beat New South Wales.
Let's go to the rugby league then in that case. Tonight. There's only one game tonight, Friday night, 10 o'clock New Zealand time. I don't know how that vagaries of the draw because
sleep by then.
3 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday.
It'll be an Origin thing.
What is more chance happening? Knights beat Dragons tonight. That's the Knights going to the Dragons. Or the Titans beat the Storm tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
Well, pretty much. I'm pretty sure everyone's backing up. I don't know anyone who's not.
Knights coming off a win against the Panthers.
Yeah, but that was a C Panthers team.
Titans have won one out of their last 28 games.
It feels like it.
Feels like it.
Isn't that just the story of the Titans since they were established?
But they get all their Origin players back.
Yeah, they get 3 of them back. The Panthers they had 5. Now the thing is, as much as you get these guys back and it's great, you're asking them to put their bodies through another 80 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll play
80s.
These guys are. Yeah.
Well, a lot of them are in positions where you kind of have to play 80 minutes, right?
What is more chance happening? Knights win or Titans win?
Knights, yeah. So.
What is more chance of happening? Titans beat the Storm or the Tigers go up to Townsville and beat the Cowboys Saturday 7 o'clock?
Tigers are one of 2 teams who didn't have anyone involved in Origin 1, I believe.
They're also coming off a bye, so they're well rested.
They are incredibly well rested. And I actually like that Lachlan Galvin's been totally dropped out of the team. I would have preferred had that been the case. The first moment Benji Marshall did it, he stuck with it because he brought him back after a while. I'd say the Tigers, purely from a stamina/fatigue perspective. No one in Origin, and
Cowboys have got 4 players that come back?
Yeah, I think it's 3 or 4. They had the bye as well, the Tigers. I think having someone like Luai not play Origin is actually quite a good thing, and the distraction of Lachlan Galvin is sort of pushed to the side as much as it can be. I'd give the Tigers a hell of a chance, actually.
All right.
Actually, put money on it. Check the odds. Put money on that.
What is more chance of happening?
Or at least go maybe
and this is the
Tigers
best thing about it. New Zealand time, Saturday, 9:35. Manly host the Broncos. 7:35 in Sydney. And guess who's going to the game? Not you. The man who is 0-7 going live to see the Broncos. I will be there at Brookvale, drinking terrible beer, eating greasy chips at Brookvale for that game. If I'm there when the Broncos win, what does this tell you about the universe, Lachlan? How unfair life is. If I get to see my Broncos win, because I'll be Broncoed up for that game.
Don't say my Broncos.
I'll be Broncoed up.
Don't say my Broncos. That is offensive.
Does this make you sick that I'm going to go and watch a Broncos win and you haven't?
Well, we might lose based on our form the last month or 2, month and a half.
You're coming off a bye and you went from 9th to 8th in the last round and you didn't even play.
Hell of a win.
Manly, meanwhile, they got thrashed, didn't they? They got beaten by the Eels 30-10 in the last outing. So what is more chance of happening?
Strange result, that one.
Will Broncos beat Manly or Tigers beat Cowboys?
More chance. Filthy that you're going to this game because there is a good chance that we win.
Going with a good mate too, Geordie. This is going to be fun.
Oh, I'm just filthy.
I've been to Brookvale before. I like those oval old grounds.
Oh, the old school suburban grounds.
Yeah,
they're so with the embankments. They're great. And when you go to the bathrooms and the urinal is a concrete wall, and the stench of it.
Smell it. It's like Athletic Park toilet.
It's decades, nearly a century of
Everyone who pees on it just like
liquid.
This waft comes up and
yeah.
And the other thing, though, if you want to get into ochre culture, if you want to actually, this is as Australian as it gets, is to go to a game of rugby league in one of those grounds and stand on the bank.
Yeah,
that's it. This is what the NRL used to be about.
Well, it's
actually a rite of passage. I love it.
Yeah, it's very Australian because they've kept that alive. But I feel like it's a very New Zealand suburban rugby kind of thing from decades ago as well.
But there's something about standing there on the bank where you're kind of shoulder to shoulder and you're getting beer spilled on
just
you.
yelling stuff. just the most unholy words coming out of your mouth.
People, especially in Aussie, yell stuff, okay?
And then you head to church on Sunday.
There ain't no HR department going on there.
No, the HR department would get beaten up.
No sensitivities, no.
Yeah. anyway, I truthfully I give the Broncos more chance, but that could be my bias getting in the way. Based on form, I wouldn't be. I mean, we've made a questionable change. Jesse Arthurs is playing fullback.
Give me that hat to wear.
And no, you're not touching any of my Broncos stuff. Get out of here. Then again,
if I win and we win, I'm bringing you back a Broncos merch. I'm going to bring you back because you're going to put it on your wall and go, that guy went to see the Broncos and he won.
No, I don't want it because I don't want any sort of memory or any bit of history to tell me that there is a curse when I go and watch my Broncos and a bloke who actually doesn't like my team at all
hates your team.
Yeah.
And pretends he's a Broncos
fan.
fan.
And they won.
And they win.
More chance Brisbane win. But I don't like the Arthurs at fullback, Cobbo on the wing thing. I find that really odd.
What is more chance happening? The Rabbits beat the Warriors Saturday 4 o'clock.
I can't believe you're going to go watch them.
Or the Panthers beat the Eels Saturday 6:05. Now the Eels are coming off back-to-back wins. Okay? Rabbits had an impressive...
Rabbitohs.
No, they had the bye last week, didn't they? They're coming off the bye, but they've won 2, then the bye. Warriors coming off that close loss to Canberra, and they'd won 5
So you're asking me if more chance the Rabbitohs win?
Or the Panthers beat the Eels.
Okay, well...
See, normally you just say Panthers, wouldn't you?
The Panthers probably will win.
Will they? Will they? Even with those players back, will they win? They got to start winning at some stage, but we keep saying that about the Panthers, don't we?
I just don't know, because the bad thing about Origin this year is you watch that game, one thing New South Wales have really developed, I think, in the last year or two, is one thing they lacked for about 10 years was the grit and the ability to win the arm wrestle and get down and dirty. Queensland did that really well for so long, and New South Wales could just never do it. And they've done that. They did that really well in Game 3 last year, and they did that really well on Wednesday night, I thought. Yep. And you saw guys like Isaiah Yeo, Nathan Cleary, Dylan Edwards all had superb games. Some of probably their best performances this year, because their form for Penrith hasn't been that great at all. So I can't imagine that you get those 3 guys, for example. Obviously, Liam Martin's there as well. And you grab them.
And Brian Tall.
They're also 5th, Brian Tall. You grab those guys and put them in to Penrith and they don't perform. I just can't imagine that happening.
Yeah, right.
I lean towards the Panthers beating the Eels. Then again, I think, and it's not an anti-Warriors thing, because I've been objective and I've been praising them the last couple of months because they have been playing well. Well done, Warriors, once again, well done. I think the Rabbitohs will beat them. So... I don't know.
Okay,
it's a flip of the coin. I'm telling you, it's a flip of the coin. There's as much chance the Rabbitohs beat the Warriors as the Panthers beating the Eels.
Final one. What is more chance happening? Rabbits beat the Warriors or the Roosters beat the Raiders Saturday 8:05 and wrap it up. It was my bad before. I thought the Rabbits played. I got it all wrong. The Roosters had actually played, didn't they? And they put 42 over the Sharks, 42-16. So this is a team that's 5-6 against a Raiders side. 9-3. They've won 5 out of their last 6. They toughed it out hard against the Warriors.
That would have taken a lot out of them.
But I don't know. I just kind of feel that this is if the Roosters win this game, I won't be surprised.
Who's at home to?
Roosters. Raiders, yeah. So Roosters beat Raiders or Rabbits beat Warriors.
They're both equally, the Roosters and the Raiders are equally as tricky to work out because the Roosters have put together some great performances and then you'd expect can't really back it up because it is a young team.
And then they bum it the next week.
This is a bit of a transition year for the Roosters, but they're playing well. Then you get the Raiders, who for years under Ricky Stewart will beat some great sides, the Melbournes of this world. They'll go on the road to beat the Warriors, but then they might put the bed the next week against an average, Dragon side, for example. So, I don't know. I'm like you where my gut sort of tells me the Roosters have got a hell of a chance here.
I don't know why I feel like that,
There's something really fun and exciting about them. They're not as... It's so easy to dislike the Roosters for so many years.
Everyone hates the Roosters. I hate the Roosters.
Because of the celery sombrero.
Well, that's it, the Val Close thing.
But there's something about... and this is why I liked Penrith originally, obviously not as much now because they've won 4 straight premierships, but you can't not like teams who get homegrown talent, get their own kids and develop them into really good players, and that's what we're seeing with the Roosters. So I give them a really good chance, actually. Probably more of a chance than the Rabbitohs over the Warriors. I think the Rabbitohs over the Warriors is a coin flip, but I'd lean towards the Rabbitohs.
Let us finish with what is more chance of happening. Oh, well, let's just talk about the A-League Grand Final quickly. Who wins out of the 2 Melbourne sides?
I don't know. Victory? I don't know much about the A-League this year.
Okay, I'd say the Victory because they're so impressive beating Auckland. I mean, they did that 2-0 win coming here and winning. That's the result of the season.
Yeah, they did a similar thing last year, obviously, when they
went to the Phoenix.
And beat them in that game. So they've got this pedigree, and they've won the most A-League titles, or maybe the second most, along them and Sydney FC, I think, are up there as the 2 most winningest clubs. So they have heritage, and they've got a bit of history, whereas Melbourne City, who have been one of the better sides in the last 5 or 6 years, don't have as much. I don't know. I'd lean towards the victory.
Finally, what is more chance of happening? Let's go to Barcelona. Max Verstappen wins it, or Liam Lawson gets another top 10 finish? What is more chance of happening?
Gee, I don't know. It's at Catalonia.
Mm-hmm. So you can pass. That's a good thing about it.
Yeah, you can pass. It's I'm just trying to think if it suits the Red Bull car. I'm not too sure because it's just a standardised
he's shown though
racetrack.
even over the last few. If he gets a chance, I still believe he's the best driver there.
Oh, he is.
You
put them all in the same car.
He's the best driver.
Verstappen's the best driver.
Right.
If you get the best version of Verstappen, the best version of Alonso, the best version of Lewis Hamilton, Verstappen's probably
Lando.
The best version of him and Leclerc. All of these guys, Verstappen's probably the best of the lot. Now, that's partly because of what other drivers have
I think
said
he's
about
got
him.
an attitude. He's got that winning attitude in F1. He loves it. He loves the contest.
He's got a Schumacher about him.
Yeah, that's
Schumacher had
exactly it.
He's
He's
almost like a devil inside of him.
He's ruthless, and he will go for things that other drivers don't.
Yeah.
But Liam drove really well, and
he did.
qualified well.
He's got to back it up. I mean, when you qualify well at Monaco, bank the points.
Yeah, you are going to
not really.
Yeah,
and he had a questionable strategy that helped him get the points.
Yep.
When it's come to these larger racetracks where there's more of an ability to pass, I think your left or your right front tyre tends to wear down quite a bit in Catalonia, so that'll be interesting. I wouldn't have much confidence in Liam being able to back it up. It's not an anti-Liam thing. It's just how he's performed this year.
Yeah, I'd back Max.
Things haven't gone his
if we're
way.
going to go, what is more chance of happening?
I'd go Max. Yeah.
Have a fantastic sporting weekend, people. I'm off for a week. Lachlan will be in the hot seat next week doing the rugby with TJ on Tuesday. We've got a long weekend, of course, and then Kempy on Wednesday.
Debut.
Don't let them get away with anything.
Who's them? The guests or the fans? The people watching the YouTube vids?
Who's them? You're them.
This is the DSPN.